What's up, you guys? Thank you for clicking on this video. So as you can tell by the title, we have some crazy Studio Series reveals to talk about today. And about time some damn Bayverse got revealed, am I right? So, man, MCM London this morning, at the time of this recording, I know in London it's like 4 o'clock right now, whatever. But we have the full, basically Wave 1, and I think possibly a little bit of Wave 2, but I can't really remember. These are coming out in just a few short months, and some bullet points that I want to read first before I show images, because it's going to give some context to some things before I talk about it. So this is courtesy of Admiral Prime. He gave this info. He says here, SSB seems to open the possibility of redos. SSB was also supposed to be in the same assortment as Buzzworthy Hound and Hatchet. AOE Prime's render is missing some colors. More SS TF1 stuff in the plans. So this is all great news. A lot of figures need redos, especially from the first couple years of Studio Series. I'm looking at you, Lockdown. I'm looking at you, 2007 Jazz, 2007 Ratchet. I mean, there's quite a few characters they could redo. I'm looking at you, Revenge of the Fallen Megatron, Dark of the Moon Megatron, kinda. So that's great. And very interesting that we finally know the mystery listing from like a year or two ago. It was a while ago this was leaked on that Buzzworthy Bumblebee. It was a mysterious listing. We had no idea what Bumblebee it was going to be. So I guess it was going to be the Volkswagen Bee, and it just got put into the main line like Hound and Hatchet due to Buzzworthy being canceled, which is cool. I love that. Not an exclusive anymore, which makes it a bit easier to get, which is nice. And obviously I haven't shown the images yet, but AOE Prime's render missing colors. Just keep that in mind when I talk about this figure in a little bit in the video, give you guys my thoughts on it. He is missing colors in the render, so I'm going to reserve judgment a little bit until we see the final product in-hand images and stuff like that. And more SS1 stuff. That's cool. I really want a Jazz. I really want an Arachnid. And some of those Prime designs would be amazing, so hopefully we get that. Now, let's move on to these images, the juicy parts, shall we? Bumblebee looks cool. I probably won't be getting this because I really have no attachment to the Bumblebee movie in this design. And plus, it looks like the whole wings are clear plastic, and he's not even supposed to have those wings, so it's a little bit annoying to me. And overall, I just really don't care about this design, but it still looks great. I love that they're finally redoing the older Studio Series figures. And we got a re-release of 86 Jazz. Not sure if this is going to be solid plastic or the clear plastic release. I hope it's a solid plastic one. I would love to get that. But I don't know, you can't really tell from this Space Bridge image. And then we have more images of Ape Link. Again, he looks a little mid to me. I'm not really a big fan of it. Definitely will not be picking this up. Still got to get Optimus Primal, and I think that Primal is an amazing figure. Dark of the Moon Shockwave getting a reissue. You love to see it. I hope we see a lot more rare Studio Series figures get reissued in the coming years. We already know 86 Grimlock is getting a reissue as well next year, so that's great. War for Cybertron Game Ironhide, my boy. He looks fantastic. I love the remolded parts from the Ratchet mold. I just picked up Ratchet like 2 weeks ago, and I love that figure. And Ironhide looks just as good or even better, so I cannot wait to get this guy in hand. I love me some War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron stuff. It's a little weird. It seems like he comes with maybe the sniper rifle, or it's like an alternate version of it. I don't know. For Ironhide, I wish he came with more of like a bigger, chunkier gun, but that's more of a nitpick. Still looks cool nonetheless. And we got my boy Dark of the Moon, Q, or Wheeljack, whatever you want to call him. I don't know, when I was younger, I always used to call him Wheeljack, because, I don't know, he kind of just fit the characterization of him, a nerdy scientist who's really smart. So, I guess Wheeljack here, he looks fantastic. I am loving the accuracy. I mean, obviously these images aren't the greatest, so you can't tell every detail. But what you can see on Q here, he looks absolutely amazing. He blows that 2011 Deluxe out of the water. That Deluxe was so hard to find back in the day, and it's even harder to get now. You gotta pay like $100-something to get one sealed, $80-something to get one loose. It's ridiculous. And now we finally have a mainline release that wasn't a China exclusive. and it's going to be much easier to get. I cannot wait to get this guy when he comes out next year. He is definitely one of my most hyped figures for next year. Cannot wait to put him next to Dino and Bumblebee and Sideswipe, all those characters, Ironhide, Optimus. It's going to look fantastic on the shelf. And all the weapons he comes with, he's got his blade. It looks like he's got a couple of his tools as well, and maybe a sidearm cannon on his arm there, it looks like. Oh my god, it looks like it could peg into the side of his forearm, and you got a little bit of a cannon there, which is sick. I didn't even know Q had guns in the movie or even in his design. So I don't know if that's from concept art or if he actually used it in the movie in the background or something, because Bayverse is really known for stuff like that. You'll be rewatching the movie and you see something in the background like, huh, I didn't know the character was doing this way off into the distance in the shot. So it might be that case, or it might be made up, or it's concept art, don't know. But he's also got extra weapons on the side of his hip, much like his CG design, and very much like his 2011 Deluxe. So I'm really glad he comes with a lot of accessories, and they're not skimping out in that department, because I was a little fearful that's what they were going to do. He was just going to come with his staff and maybe one, like, wrench or something like that. But it seems like he's coming with maybe 4 accessories, assuming those 2 accessories on his midsection there are removable and not just glued in. So that looks pretty great. I'm really excited for Q. He looks like he's going to be one of the best deluxes in a long time for Hasbro's sake. Now, digging into the big bot himself of the wave, Optimus. Man, this is an interesting figure, because, you know, with the history of this design and the figures we've gotten from this Optimus design over the years, we didn't really know what to expect, and I really do think, all things considered, they did the best that they could. The leg kibble is next to none. You know, in past figures, the Voyager and Leader Class 1, there was a ton of leg kibble, so it seems like they pretty much eliminated that, and it seems like they moved most of the truck mode kibble to his back, which, I don't know, it may be a good thing, maybe a bad thing. One thing I don't like about this figure is it seems like the smokestacks on his back are going to come up a little too short, and that backpack, assuming it's not mistransformed for the CG render or whatever this image would be, it does look a little wonky just having the whole back section of the truck behind him. I wish that broke down a little bit more, especially for the price point. I mean, this is a $55 leader class. You would think there would be a bit more moving parts to condense that backpack a bit better. He does have his sword and shield, which is great. It looks like he'll have finger articulation, which is fantastic to hold that sword properly, because if you look at the hilt, it is not a typical just regular 5mm port into the hand. It's got some extra details on it that aren't going to be able to port into a regular 5mm hand, so he's definitely going to have a hand joint for you to slide it in sideways, which is fantastic. Love that he's not going to have circle jerk jack off hands. I hate those. If you know me on the channel for a while, I always say I hate those kinds of hands, and I wish they would do either solid molded fisted hands and then you get open hands to hold stuff, or you just get a finger joint, simple as that, like what we get with this figure and some other figures we've gotten over the years. Now again, I'm not going to harp on him missing colors. It is what it is. He's going to have more in the released version, they said. This is just an early render, so don't worry just yet. He may have all the flames he should have in every area, and if he's still missing some, that's going to suck, but I hope not. But you know, I'm a little disappointed in the backpack, but what are you going to do as far as this design is concerned? It's really got no truck parts in his robot mode, so they did what they could do. I hope he has an ab crunch of some sort and he's got a nice ball-jointed head, whether it's a single ball joint and they cut some of the head to get some extra up and down movement in there would be fantastic. Or if it's double hinged, like what they did with 86 Hot Rod, Ironhide, and a few other, you know, Generations figures over the years. More than a few. They did it with a bunch. They did it with Cybertron 2005 Hot Shot recently too. So hopefully he has a nicely articulated head. But yeah, that's pretty much it for these reveals, guys. I'm really excited for Optimus, Q, and Ironhide. The others, you know, it's good that they re-released Shockwave and that Bumblebee is getting a nice redo that is much better than the original. And, you know, Ape-Link for those of you out there that want it, but I'm not really too fond of those figures. So yeah, let me know down in the comments below what y'all think about the reveals today. Do you love them? Do you hate them? All my social medias are linked down below, including my email if you guys want to hit me up about business inquiries, or if you want to message me about whatever, or if you want to commission a diorama from me, because I make dioramas for people for their stop motions, photography, or irregular display shelves in your homes. You could either hit me up on any of my social media accounts or just email me and we can work out a deal. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. Catch y'all in the next one. Bye!